this video, I'm going to go over how to identify bat skins. We're in the order Chiroptera, family Vespertilionidae. And actually, before I go into the particular species, I want to go over some general bat anatomical terms that we're going to use. So first, I want to talk about the tragus. Now, on a human, our tragus is this bit of the ear right here. So it's the bit that sticks out opposite the rest of the ear. In bats, like this hoary bat here, you can see most of the ear is pressed back against the head, and you have this bit sticking up in front. So that bit in front is the tragus, and this helps with echolocation and hearing and directing the sound waves, all of that. Depending on the species, it will have a different size or shape of this tragus. And depending on how the bat is preserved, you may or may not be able to see the tragus really clearly on the specimen. Second term I want to look at is the uropatagium. Urotailpatagium is the, let's look at this one, is the skin kind of stretched out. So not the wings, but this is other skin between the feet and the tail. Depending on the species, especially bats outside of Montana, there may be the tail kind of sticking well past the uropatagium or not. And here we can look at, for example, whether the uropatagium has fur on it in this case or not in this case. The last term I want to cover is the calcar, which is the heel bone. So if we look at this here, and I hope it's not glaring, you can notice on the feet there's a heel bone sticking out really, really, really long. And that is supporting the uropatagium. So when you're looking at something like this, coming off of the heel is a bone that helps support that flap of skin, the uropatagium. So we have tragus, uropatagium, calcar. Now let's identify the bats. So first one we have here, Lasioris cineris, dorsal pelage mottled of various colors. I particularly noticed that it has kind of white frosted tips with a mix of light brown, yellow, dark brown, all that kind of various colors. This is probably my favorite looking bat. And it's also quite large compared to our other bats. Our other bat with frosted tips is Lasionecturus noctivagans, which also has fur on its uropatagium, but in this case, it's a very dark color underneath the frosted tips. Yeah, very dark with silver tipping on parts of dorsal pelage, the fur. Then we have this guy, Corinurhinus townsendi, Townsend's bat, big-eared bat, that has really, really big ears, just like way longer than anything else we're going to look at. And the coloration is different than what we just looked at. It's a generally lightish brown. The pallid bat we're not covering, but if anyone is lucky to see it, it is pallid, which is to say kind of almost like sickly pale, whitish. Then the last two that we are going to look at are the big brown bat and the little brown bats. So this is our big brown bat. These are both little brown bats, genus Myotis. There are lots of species and we can't really tell them apart, so we're lumping them all together. Now, as you can tell, they're all brown and they have no hair, no fur on the uropatagium. So the biggest difference is size. And so when we post these photos, we'll post rulers so that you kind of get a general sense of what is a big bat, what is a small bat.